Hello and welcome to the 8th Empire's mapping tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be showing you the basics of a commander map, and that means refineries. Another quick note, I'll be placing just a commander and a barracks down because that is also a basic of a commander tutorial. So I'll start out with that. But basically we need a barracks down. You already know how to do that. I'm just going to place an imp barracks, place it right there, and we'll drag it into the ground just a bit. There we go. It's dragged into the ground, and we need to bring it back just a little bit. There we go. Then we need a commander, so that's just another entity. You just type in commander, and then there's emp inf and emp and f commander. So we're just going to place him right there, and then you can make sure he's not clipping into the ground, so that way he can move. Let's drag him up. We'll do that, and you have to place both commanders, otherwise the game sometimes decides that it doesn't want to work anymore. Yeah, so sometimes, you'll see the scrolling texture here. So, once you have a barracks and the commanders placed, the map is now registered as a commander map. And then all you need to do is place some refineries, and you have a basic commander map. So, basically, what you need to do is, I have 3 setups right here. So, if you want it to be just a standard refinery, you go ahead and you just choose a model. Select this, and you name it emp resource point prop, and then you name it something specific. So we'll name this emp res nf3 prop. Sorry, we'll just name this res 3 prop. See? So once that is placed, there we go. It'll have a bunch of inputs here once we get that going, but for now it has nothing. So then, there is the other entity, the smokestack, and this is what gives off that smoking appearance when you're in-game. Here we go. It's right here. So you want to place this at the very top of the refinery model, because then the smoke will rise from it, and it'll give a clear indication that it is a refinery. So basically, you need to give it another name. So smokestack ref 2. Actually, we'll name this ref 3. How about that? So this right here gives off the particle effect that is smoke. You can go in here and you want to have the initial state on because it doesn't have a refinery built onto it. You can mess around with these different values, the speed at which it goes up, the spread speed, how wide it gets, the particle size, so how big the smoke particles are, how many get emitted, the length in units, and how far it goes. If it twists at all, the roll speed, you can mess with the color and the translucency, and you can also mess with the particle. However, for this, we're not going to mess with any of this. I have a preset right here, and we're just going to keep it like that. Mimicking this right here will give a nice indication that this is in fact a refinery, but again, you can mess with it how you want. So then comes the next one, which is the emp resource point. This is probably the most important of the 3 things that are needed, because this is actually the part that gives an indication that you can place a refinery here. Wherever this is, that's where the refinery model will be. So if it's all the way up at the top, the refinery will appear to be floating. So it's very important to place it at the very bottom, touching the ground, and you want this ground to be flat, by the way. You don't want this, so I'll have to smooth that out. But you want to make sure it's touching the ground, because if it's not, it will float or appear up above the ground like that, and then floating crates. Don't want that. That makes the map look kind of bad. So we're just going to name this ref 3 point. So there we go. So then there's a bunch of outputs for this one, of course. So for this, so when it's disabled, that means when so on disable, when something is built on top of it, that means that this disappears and the refinery model takes its place. And when something is built on top of it, it'll turn off the smoke effect. So on disable, which is something being built on top of it, it disables both of these things and places the model over top of it. And then on enable, which is the refinery is destroyed, build these on top of it. I did that wrong. So again, if you click on the wrong one, it'll appear as a red line through it, meaning that that is not the correct one. And here you go, and then we'll just click on that. There we go. So there we go. Now when someone builds on it, it should disable this, and when someone destroys it, it should turn off. And for this resource point, you can come in here, and you can come in here, and yes, you want it to be enabled. Don't turn it off. That's bad. Total resources. So there's actually, in Empires, you can have a finite number of resources per resource node. No one uses this as far as I know. Everyone just has it set to -1, which is infinite, but you can change that. And then right here you can also change the resources per second that the refinery will give you. If you do that, you have to go into the minimap and you have to mark on the map yourself that it's a ×2 ref. I'll show that in the next tutorial on how to make a minimap. But right now, we should be ready to go. I'm just going to smooth out the ground right here because we do need this ground to be smooth to be able to place anything on. Otherwise, you know, it'll glitch out. And we don't want that. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm just going to move this because it's kind of close to those one. Can't have that. Can't be too close to any other building, so we're going to get rid of the VF for right now. And we'll move the comm over to where the VF was. So there we go. Make sure it's not touching it or contacting the ground. Make sure all your displacements are sewed. So we're going to go over here, just click auto, only want the displacements, highlight over it all, and then we're just going to go click sew. There we go. Should all be good. There we go. We can move this just a little bit more, get it more into a more open area, because again, it has to be in an open area. There we go. And then if you want preset refineries down, what you do is you just have emp building, so NF refinery or BE refinery over top of it. That'll indicate, that was a mistake. Sorry. So yeah, you just have entity of emp building NF refinery, and you place it over top of it, and you just have it. You have right. Yeah, so that should automatically turn it off when the refinery is placed over top of it. You do want to give a starting ref at the beginning of every round, because if you don't give a starting ref, you'll have idiots who waste the money rather than actually placing it. There it was by accident. Oops. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead. We're just going to come in here. We're just going to, we want to save this as emp tutorial 8. We'll do a nice fast compile, or normal compile. Not fast. Fast will work. We'll go in game and we'll try it out. Don't want that. Gotta start up Steam again. For some reason it shut down. Interesting. There we go. So yeah, this map will be available for download, so you can see everything that I've done, and you can actually copy paste between the you can copy paste between maps. So you just control click on all these different props, click control C, then go up here and click open and navigate to your map, and then just control V and you can copy paste this around. That's very nifty actually if you want to copy systems from another map. I do that personally quite a bit, and I reverse engineer quite a few things that I see and find. So hopefully this will be helpful. You can just copy paste these around the map. Don't forget to name them, and then rig them up so that way they are correct. Because if you don't, again, you can have a problem. So yep, there we go. There's the smoke coming off of it. NF refinery right there. We're going to spawn in. NF is gaining 3 res per second. The round hasn't started yet, so you're not actually gaining anything. Ooh. Right, I got to join the server real quick. Just to get the mini-map real quick. And then we'll go back and we should have a mini-map to be able to choose spawns. You remember this fix. Until I show you how to make your mini-map, you're going to have to do this. Apologies. That'll be the next tutorial, because with the basics of the commanding map, you should be able to automatically you should be ready to release a map, because there's not much more that you need to know for a commanding map, but I'll just go into a little bit more advanced things with the command map, such as if you want one team to have research done already, or you know, set refineries to do some more specific things, etc., etc. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, and then I'll within the minimap tutorial, after the minimap tutorial, I'll show you how to make the .res file as well. And with the .res file, it'll include everything that you need in your map to download automatically if you have custom textures or anything, or the file that has that links your minimap that also has the text for what you can read right here. You can give credit to people who helped you out and stuff. It's pretty helpful. Here we go. I'm gonna hop in the comm vehicle. I'm just gonna go ahead and ooh, enemy too near. I have to kill the other refinery. Oops. Hindsight. Sorry. I should edit this out, but that's gonna be a lot of work, so. So you'll notice that refinery now spawned with the rock, with the smoke. You place this, and the rock's gone. There's no more smoke, and there's only the refinery smoke. I should be able to build this real quick. So here's something if you want to test. Here's one command, sv debug instant build, but you have to turn sv cheats on. This will allow you just to run around and build buildings. So see, you can see the res is now ticking 1 up per second. You can drive over here. Place plop down this refinery. Look at that. Smoke's gone. Instant build. There we go. So there is the basics of a commander map. You should be able to now make commander maps on your own. And then the next map, I'll show you how to make a mini map, so that way you don't aren't stuck having to join another server and seeing this white crap everywhere. So there you go. Have fun map making, and thank you for watching.